Remind me to look at the front porch when we're out there. And we want to do something about that fan. We have a big debate about what we're supposed to do on this porch here. Renee wants to put some glass sliding doors or something. Oh, she says there's no debate anymore. She decided what she's going to do. And one of these days I have to get this deck out here worked on. She has a big quandary about this old beat up speaker. Hey! That's disrespectful to my flags! Yes, they're old. That's an old glory. There comes on the air conditioner. I better go turn it off. Do what?
Is that air conditioning?
It is. Better get me a towel to lay it around there. We got the bulletin printing right there. On this fine April transferring this from that VCR right there to that one there, and it aggravates me because I got these songs on the corner of the monitor. I don't know what to do about that, but that's life. Here's the Snoopy collection. I was so tickled because I got, this is April the 5th, 2003. I got from the Library of Congress a listing of all the works of Charles Schultz. So I'll be able to check and see what I have and what I don't have and what I'm looking for. Oop, don't look in there, the bed needs to be made up. You've been busy. You busy. You've been real busy. Here's my little fountain that I got for $5, but it's too noisy. I need to get it to somebody that can't hear. Renee says it won't be long, we're headed that direction. My little $50 monitor. Your orange is in here. It won't be for long though. Oh, look at that pretty dogwood tree. Now, I want to put my big old tarp up there when that pool gets warm. And I've got to get one of my little helpers. When they painted the edge of the roof, Richard didn't get from there up to the corner. I got to do that on both sides. I can do that by the ladder and just get up there and be careful. Okay. Well, one of the things when they come in here, I still want to extend this thing out so it's not so steep. It needs to be.
Maybe Bobby can do that while he's doing the porch.
I'd like to do it where, in fact, extend that thing, make it a ramp, and bring it all the way out here somewhere.
So you can slide and do it.
Well, yeah, well, I don't want them to do that, but I gotta do some roundup and weed pulling on my thing. I think I might bring me another load of stones in there to fill that up. I was thinking about, they got that blower that instead that works by gas, and it sucks stuff up and grinds it. Say what? Okay, I want to put some mulch in there. I would like to go do that today. And I wish if anybody sees this video before I go to heaven, or even after I go to heaven, why is that tree not so healthy? I'm about ready to still looking at the project here of finishing this thing up, putting those stones around it. I think that would be the icing to the cake. I may dump this guy here into that little spot right there.
Okay.
Somehow I got to reinforce this guy here because it's, I think if I took a piece of wire and up here and made it taunt to that fence and maybe taunt somewhere else, it would be, or maybe get one to a spike here. It would blow over when it gets real windy. Okay, anything I need to do right here? Okay, now when you guys come to help me, we need to do that section of the fence right there. Paint it. That Donald says he'll come work for me anytime. These guys are busy.
So you have those big old logs to split.
Yep. And do I need to cover this wood up, or it'd be okay sitting out like that? That's what we want, especially that pine. Better, the drier the better. I'm going to take a piece of rope and put a piece of small plywood and stand it up on both sides and tighten that rope around real tight. In fact, I just make it loose and put on one end and twirl it around. We got to get all that stuff cleaned up down there. Let's see, I got to pick up these piles of stuff here. I wonder if all that wood is going to fit on there. I got quite a bit of room, huh? I might have to bring the truck over there and push that wood, straighten it up. Donald wasn't too good of a stacker. One of those guys can take a hammer and beat that rest of that rock out right there. The old pump. I don't want that rock hanging in there.
Or was that where you chilled the other day?
I did till down there a little bit. That rough dirt over to the right. That's I just drove my tiller around, tilling up places. And we can till around, in fact we can till all underneath those grapevines, muscadines. Around the roots it make it get more water that way. No, I mean, for instance, like I took that tiller and I pulled the stuff away from the dogwood trees and till around it.
I want this tilled out to the end of here.
Okay.
So I can put 2 more roses in.
Okay. The roses are looking mighty pretty.
They have a lot of pretty leaves, but they have some buds on them.
I had a debate whether from Steve if I want to get pine straw or the mulch. I think
We've got plenty of pine straw.
we will in the fall.
There's some areas like there, and you have it stacked up really high. And some places in front too.
Okay.
It does seem silly to buy mulch and all this kind of stuff.
Okay, we get the big scraps here and put them in that barrel down there. Take that bicycle, put it in that trailer down there and run it off to the... Here's a little bird that Huggy killed, and it's such a pretty blue one. Right there. See, I tilled around the edge there a little bit when I was playing around with that thing. Okay, we think that we want to move this basketball goal. And we want to put it somewhere. Where should you put it?
I would put it in the yard sale.
In the what?
In the yard sale.
No, well, I can hang it over the fence down there. I may do that. It won't give you much area to play basketball, but when you're in the pool, you can give the kids something to do. Yeah, that's probably what I'd do. Okay. This stuff here, one of these days that guy's here, I tell them to go in there and pull and cut that all back. I don't want any of that stuff.
I would pull it out. If you don't pull it out, it'll come right back again.
Okay.
Or just pull all that stuff out of there.
Yeah, well, I got a feeling we'll be dealing with that for a long time to go, even if he did try to pull it out.
Yeah, I would do it just as thoroughly as I could. If you don't, it's an exercise in futility.
Well, at least I won't cut it after this year.
Dig out the roots as far as you can.
And if I cut it back and get it covered. Okay. The big thing I wanted to talk to you about was, here's my thing. After the last of the azaleas have dropped, I think we'll come in here and I'm going to cut those guys back ruthlessly. And when I do that, here's what I decided to do. I'm going to get the rake and go in there and I'm going to pull everything I can out and put all this down behind the fence for landfill. And then I'm going to get some major truckloads of that mulch and put it around there. I think that'd be mighty pretty. So what do you think? Now the only thing about it is that I'm going to take the tiller and go right around the most important plants, like the base of the azaleas, but the trouble is they got that black stuff underneath there.
Oh, do they have that plastic?
Yeah. So no, I may only get to do that like in 6-foot squares at a time, if you know what I mean.
Well,
speak your mind.
Well, I think that's an exercise in futility. I would pull it all out there and mulch it all up and, augment it with some pine straw or other mulch and put it back in there.
Well,
that mulch is beautiful and fine, but in 2 months you can't tell any difference.
Right. Well, the thing is I thought about, like, you got pine straw and you have a lot of seed stuff in there, weeds.
Yeah, you got to cover it back up thoroughly or it'll...
And I think that I could use that to help me get to the point where I can run the lawnmower around the fence. So that's a...
Around what fence?
The back side of the pool. I just need to keep filling that in until it's leveled out.
It's time to cut back these.
Oh yeah. I need to get a chainsaw. I wonder if one of those guys can work that and cut those pampas grass to the bone. Of course, I can do that at the same time. Yeah, well, I'm gonna get somebody to do it. That dogwood tree right there will come back. But I tell you, my feelings are about this. Really, my feelings about this is that anything, if it's not a azalea, the dogwood, and of course certain things like this, and I know that's a holly plant. If it's anything I can't clearly define, I'd rather have nothing there than have it there.
Yeah, looks like those red tips are dead across the back.
Yeah, well, they were dead. That's the reason I cut them down. Of course, I may have a few in there. Now, that'd be something if we...
Now, I'll tell you what we could do. This has gotten so crowded with all that stuff in there, we could pull those boxwoods out or some of the nandina and the dwarf nandinas and transplant them up to here.
Well, that's another thing
because this looks awful.
I wanted to ask you about is they're getting ready to pull those stuff around the church up. It doesn't seem to be anybody wants them. So we could I'll cut them down where they look like a stub like that. We could line those up along there.
Well, I'm not especially hep on the dividing line kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, the only thing is somebody came in there and built later on.
Well, that would be okay. I mean, it's not a problem with this in theory. I mean, I kind of like that.
Yeah, I do too. That's
continuity.
The other aspect there is I could may put those on the other side of the fence to more or less landfill, because I'd dig a big old hole and let use the dirt, and then put those.
Behind the pool.
Think about that.
Yeah,
bless this little.
This part just be pretty. like those little boxwoods, the mandarinors.
Okay, cut the top out of that rascal or not?
That's the one that got burned.
Yeah.
And that bottom is new gray.
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to cut the top out of it because one thing I don't especially like those things. I wouldn't mind coming out here and cutting that thing back all the time because I don't want it to get humongous. It puts.
Well, you can definitely keep it cut back.
It keeps, you know, those leaves are.
Those leaves are horrible.
Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about with tilling around. I tilled around that. See, now I just need to fill that in with mulch.
Now, what was that?
That's a dogwood tree.
You think that's gonna revive?
Oh, sure.
Probably be a dogwood bush instead of a dogwood tree.
Well, it eventually, I need to be the major, cut all the suckers off.
Yeah, and like this crowdy kind of stuff, I'd want this one out there.
Yep, that's my feelings.
And I don't know how to do that.
Do what?
You know, pull that kind of big old stuff out.
I do. You get your truck up here and you tie a rope around it and take off. Really.
I don't know, do we need to get in the trees out, get somebody in here to grind stumps? It just seems like everywhere I look, we got stumps.
Yeah, well, I think I could put some stuff around that so it's in the inside.
And see, that's another one where that mandina has just gotten so big it could go over in that section.
Yeah, because this
really
is.
like the blooming stuff in here.
What about both of them?
Yeah, you could take
Yep.
both of them over.
Well, those guys get big eventually.
Yeah, if you let them, they do get big. I mean, you can keep them cut back.
Oh, look at that.
Go into that bed and take out every other one or something, because the boxwoods they're just blending together now. It's either cut the boxwoods back or move some stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty content with that right now myself. Yeah, but I mean, as it grows more.
Oh, you mean like take out some of the mandina and just let the boxwoods fill in?
Yeah, those are pretty small. Those ones that are so low to the ground, they do good ground cover. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, this will cause that grass to fill in there. That was hard as a brick. Mm-hmm. It was funny, that tiller going boom, boom.
Yeah, I bet so. But see, there's lots of mulch in there.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I thought about, at first I was going to pull it out, drop it in that grinder, mm-hmm. But man, that's an ordeal. Yeah.
Well, if you get those grunt workers over here to do it now.
I agree. And that's something easy for them to do, too.
And really, the little things that gives them a little money, income stuff, too. And
I think I'm going to keep this tree here and let it get big.